Hello there guys, Bilbo10000 here, bringing you another episode of Rate Their Chances, the show where we rate the chances for potential newcomers making it into the base roster for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And today we're going to be doing something a little bit differently, but before that, just a reminder that this series is based off of the thread over on Smashboards, which you can find down below, and if you haven't watched any of the previous episodes, I would highly recommend doing so before watching this one. You can see them in the cards in the top right. Why do I suggest you watch the previous episodes first? Well, in this episode, I'm not going to be going over the characters in great detail because today, we are not rating their chances, we are re-rating their chances. After the last direct, I have had to change up my chance scores and just completely modify what I think is likely because Sakurai has blown every expectation away, has thrown away any arguments regarding relevancy that I can make, proven that we're going to be getting tons more Echo Fighters, and honestly, there has been a lot of work that I've needed to do considering all of these new revamped results. But before that, I do want to give a shout out to the characters I did get correct. Dark Samus was my most highly rated character, the only character with an 80% chance score / higher, and they managed to make it in, as did Chrom, Simon, and King K. Rool, all of which were in my top 20 predictions, which I consider to be a win. Obviously, Shovel Knight sadly did not make it in. He was number 24 in my predictions, and then there was Ashley, who was extremely high up. She was a shock to, I think, everybody, and I am so sorry to Shovel Knight and Ashley fans who sadly got their characters disconfirmed, as well as Mimikyu as well, but I never rated Mimikyu on the show. The only Pokemon I've done so far is Decidueye. So, basically, I need to re-rate a lot of characters. There are some characters I will not be re-rating, so I'm just going to go through the list of characters that have not had their ratings changed, just so that you guys know where they are. And the characters who have not had their ratings change are Decidueye, Tails, Chorus Kids, Medusa, Captain Toad, Viridi, Chibi-Robo, Lloyd Irving, Marks, Mifa, Leon Kennedy, Bub and Bob, Dragonborn, Hoenn Pokemon Trainer, and of course any character that I gave a 0% to: Knack, Galactonite, Rex and Pyro, Forful, and Sans. Every other character I've rated has had a change for better or for worse, because I have decided that while re-rating these characters, I think it's safe to start actually factoring people out of the equation. And I have a grand total of not 1, not 2, not 3, but 9 0% chances to give out to some of my least likely characters. Because we clearly know that the ballot was inspiration for pretty much every pick so far. I mean, King K. Rool wouldn't have got in other ways. Dark Samus and Chrom haven't been relevant in goodness knows how long. So I think I'm safe in the characters I'm going to be kicking out. So let's get straight into it, and if you guys want to re-rate some of these characters yourself, give me your thoughts down below. Which of my characters that I have rated so far do you guys think will potentially be changed? So let's get started. I'll see you guys in a moment. So we're starting with the 0% chances. These are the 9 characters who I feel I can safely put in 0%. And we're going to go from the bottom up. I've got a spreadsheet here. It's going to be in the description below, so you can take a look at all of the work that I've put into this. So let's start off Taboo. Taboo has now got a 0% chance from his 1% chance that he got in his video. However, I think he may come in as a secret boss for whatever story mode they have been concocting, because with Rathalos and Dracula being potential boss characters, I think it's safe to assume they could bring back Taboo. The second character getting a 0% chance is Spyro the Dragon, who also goes from 1% to 0%. I just don't think it's happening at this point. I don't think that's where Sakurai's priorities are. Kamek is next with 3% going down to 0%. He is still a background element and a stage hazard on Mushroom Kingdom U, so I don't think he is going to be coming back. Reimu is getting a 0% chance after moving down from 3% chance, because personally, I just don't see Reimu getting in. We saw Shovel Knight make it in as indie representation, and I just feel like he was more popular than Reimu overall. I don't see her getting in. There is another indie rep that I'll be getting into later that I think will get in over Reimu. Eggman is going from 5% to 0%, same reason as Taboo. I think he's going to appear as a boss. It would make way too much sense to show him as a boss in his mecha, in like an egg walker or something of those sorts. I think that would make way more sense than making him a playable character, and it would be a really nice nod to the Sonic franchise. Just Dancer is going from 5% to 0%, I'm afraid. I'm gonna be writing Just Dancer out. It's not happening. We all know it wasn't happening, but now it's definitely not happening. Springman, I'm putting him from 5% to 0%. He is not making the base roster. I could see him 100% being in DLC, but base roster, it just feels like every pick we've had so far is ballot worthy or old school. We haven't had any real new characters per se, so I just don't see Springman making it in, going by the trends we've seen so far. Cooking Mama, I am so sorry, but 5% to 0%, you're going home, it's over, farewell. I just don't see it happening. The only character, and I'm just going to share this before moving on to our final 0%, the only character still on 5% who's currently got the lowest chances on my list, but still, you know, has a chance, ironically is Hoenn Pokemon Trainer, who I think could still happen, however unlikely, so we'll see. But my last character I'm putting on 0% is Crash Bandicoot, 10% to 0%. I just feel like Crash, his revival came too late, and given the ballot is definitely having a major effect on pretty much every aspect of this game, I just don't see Crash happening. So we're going to be moving up the list now. We're going to be going from the bottom of my list to the top of my list, and we're going to be starting off with a character who originally got rated 15%, that's Dylan. Dylan now, I think, could still return as an assist trophy. I don't see why they would remove it, but I am going to put his chances up at 25% now, because his assist trophy was not shown in this latest direct. The thing is, this latest direct did focus on new trophies as opposed to returning ones, so we could still see Dylan show up at some point as an assist trophy. I just don't see why they would cut him out altogether, so I'm just going to keep his hopes somewhat alive, but I wouldn't put him above a 25%. One of the bigger names right now is Skull Kid. He was at 15% originally. I have now moved him up to 40% because a credible leaker has mentioned that Skull Kid could potentially be in the game. We have a Moon Assist trophy, but at the same time, I don't know whether Skull Kid really is going to make it in. I know he was definitely a request, but I think it would make sense if his assist trophy came back, since now we've got Ashley's trophy back, and we haven't really got any other area of effect trophies like, you know, Shadow and Skull Kid, who basically had the same sort of effect. I wouldn't be surprised to see them come back, but Skull Kid is definitely on my radar, and I have definitely put his chances a little bit higher. Shadow as an Echo Fighter, I gave him a 20% because I didn't think third parties could get Echo Fighters, but Richter has proven me wrong, and as such, everyone is pretty much sure that Shadow is going to be getting in as an Echo Fighter, and I kind of agree with them. So Shadow is going from a 20% to a 70% chance score. I really do think that if we're going to get another third-party character who is an Echo, we will either get Ken from Street Fighter or we will get Shadow from Sonic, and I think that it's just a likely case at this point. Moving up, we have now got our first decrease from these lower ranks. We have got Phoenix Wright. He was at 25%. I am now moving him down to a 15%, which I think is actually being quite generous. I don't think he is going to be safe. I think he is going to be going home. I don't think he's going to be getting into the base roster. But at the same time, I do want to hold out hope for him because I feel like there's always a chance, more so than some of the other characters I've mentioned. I want to bring a quick note to Captain Toad. He has been spotted in the New Donk City stage online on the site in a background picture, but we don't think that completely disconfirms him yet. It's just a cameo appearance, sort of like how Toon Link drives the train in Spirit Train, in the Spirit Track stage, so he could still potentially be in the game, so that's why I'm not changing Captain Toad at all. I'm going to be moving up now to a very controversial one, Sora. I'm going to be moving him from 30% to 10%. I just don't see it happening. With the focus on all of these old school reps, and with the fact that we have got King K. Rool and Ridley, there is only one more pre-Brawl character who has been a major request throughout the community who needs to get in, and that's Geno, who is also owned by Square Enix, and if Square Enix is going to get another rep, I think it really is going to be Geno and not Sora. So Sora, 10%, could come in as DLC, probably not base, but I'm going to keep my cards on the table just in case. Now, one of my favorite boosts is Shantae. She's going from 35% to 50%. A lot of people have stated that they feel Shovel Knight is the be-all and end-all of indie characters in Smash, since he was apparently the most requested, but at the same time, I don't think requests is everything that goes into making a character. I think that Shantae was extremely popular, maybe not to the extent of Shovel Knight due to Shovel Knight being extremely relevant with his games back when the Smash Ballot happened, but I do think that Shantae was up there with him, and I really believe that she will get representation in this game, and I could 100% see her being a playable character and the first indie to be playable in Smash, because she has the history with Nintendo, she's been around since the Game Boy Color, she's just got that seniority that I think people really sleep on, and I can just see her happening. I've put her at a 50% because I really think it could just tip either way. Yes, no, could go either way. Moving on, we have Isabel as an Echo Fighter. 40% was my original score. She's gone to 90%. She's definitely getting in. There's no way she isn't getting in. I would put her as a 100% if I was a betting man, but I don't want to do 100% guesses because then they will be wrong. But Isabel, I think, has the highest possible shot out of any character to get into this game right now, because her assist trophy still hasn't returned. We've seen a new Animal Crossing assist trophy. It just makes sense that Isabel would have returned as an assist trophy had she stayed in that role, because she is the second face of Animal Crossing. So I think her as a villager Echo, or potentially even a unique fighter, I think it's going to happen. And on top of that, VergeBen did say that Isabel and Simon were coming, and he was right about Simon, so he could be right about Isabel as well. I'm also going to be re-rating Banjo and Kazooie because I think they have got a slight boost in chances. They have gone from 40% to 50% because if the Smash Ballot is anything to go by, I know they were requested. I think they have a genuine shot of making it in if Phil Spencer and Microsoft were able to negotiate with Sakurai, which I think is the case. If Sakurai can negotiate an entire Castlevania crazy party with Konami, I don't think Microsoft is going to be that difficult. So moving on, we've got Joker from Persona 5. He's going from 40%, and I'm sorry to say, to 15%. I just don't see him happening. I think his chances got cut drastically just due to the fact that the Smash Ballot is really factoring in to how assist trophies and Pokemon and characters are being chosen, and I just don't see it coming. I'll never see it coming for base roster. DLC possibly, but base roster no. So now we're getting into the creme of the creme. I'm going to skip one character. You all know who it is. I'll come to that person at the end. But I'm going to move on to Dixie Kong. I gave her a 50%. I am moving her score up to a 70% because I do think she can be a Diddy Echo now that we know that Echoes don't need to have the exact same moveset as the person they echo. Chrom broke every single rule that we had. He has elements of Ike, elements of Lucina, elements of Roy. It's insane, and that means that Dixie Kong could easily have elements from another character as well as Diddy to incorporate her own unique moveset. So I think Dixie is so much more anticipated and possible now. Especially since most people seem to think that Dixie would have been released in the K. Rool trailer, myself included. But thinking about it, we got a new Metroid rep the direct after the main Metroid character was added in, so Dixie could just be coming next direct. However, Funky Kong, I'm going to come to him now. 55% I gave him. I'm putting him down to a 20%. I don't think he's happening. I think if we're going to get an Echo Fighter, it's going to be Dixie Kong. I don't think we're going to get two DK Echo Fighters, and I really think Funky Kong is going to be shafted. but I'm okay with that because I think Dixie Kong is the one that everyone really wants, so sorry Funky, but you know, it could still happen. That's why I've given you a 20% and not a 10%. Octolings, these guys, they were at 60%, and my main argument was, oh, but why would the Inklings get an Echo? This is their first time in the game. And then Richter happened! So, Octolings, you've just gone from 60% to 80%! Congratulations! Octolings, I think, are definitely happening at this point. I'm pretty sure they're gonna happen, and if they don't, then I wish I'd stuck with my gut, but at the same time, I think they could really happen. Moving on, Steve, he's going from 60% to 30%. He has crashed a little bit, because I think now if Microsoft is going to get a rep, I really do think they will actually go with Banjo and Kazooie this time. I actually do believe that. I just feel like all the signs are pointing towards a Banjo and Kazooie over Steve if Microsoft gets a rep, and I'm so happy to say that because quite frankly, even though I would be okay with Steve, I think Banjo and Kazooie kind of deserve it more. Impa as an Echo Fighter, she's gone from 70% to 75%, not much change there. I think it could happen. I think it's a very likely Echo to happen, and it would be nice for the Zelda franchise to get some more reps. Even if they are clones, I'm not going to be, like, extremely happy, but at the same time, you know, I can't complain. It's more characters. I really like the idea of Echoes. I'm completely okay with them, so... Elma has gone from 70% to 40%. I feel like with how recency has not been treated as anything regarding this game, we haven't had any recent characters revealed. We haven't had a Gen 7 Pokemon. We haven't had Elma. We haven't had Rex and Pyro, Springman. We haven't had... who else was I thinking of? We just haven't had a lot of... Oh, Bandana D. We haven't had a lot of relevant characters, and I just feel like... I feel like Elma may be kind of getting a little bit too hyped, similar to how Ashley was. Bandana D now, 70% to 50%. It's not a knock against Bandana D. I know he was highly requested for Smash 4. However, I really do believe that Bandana D is a do or die sort of situation. He is a yes or a no. He is a 50-50 chance. I would love to see him in. I don't know if he will get in. I'm hoping he does, but I can't predict Sakurai, and I think a 50% is a fair spot to place him. Travis Touchdown has gone from 70% to 35%. I have lost a lot of faith that I originally had in Travis. I just don't think he's going to be happening now. With how they treated Castlevania, and how they treated that third party with such reverence, I'm a bit hesitant to assume they're going to be bringing a lot of third parties in. I don't know why, I just feel like Castlevania was like their big third-party blowout, and then everything else is going to kind of like trickle down a little bit. Geno is now going from 70% to 85%. Honestly, Geno, if I was a betting man, he is going to be a unique newcomer. He is going to happen. I really, really believe that. I genuinely think he is going to happen. I think he has got all the cards played for him right now. He has got the best shot possible, and I would be so excited if he does make it in. With King K. Rool and Ridley coming in and breaking that relevancy issue and proving that this game really is just going all out, we know that Geno got requested during the Smash ballot period. I just don't see a way where he doesn't make it in. I really don't. I genuinely think he will be in for sure. Rayman is going from 75% to 50%, same reason as Travis. I just feel like as a third party, he's more likely, but at the same time, I feel like Castlevania was like the big third party blowout, and I just don't know how they can top that, and I don't think Rayman is going to. So I feel like Rayman is the sort of character they should have revealed prior. So, you know. And lastly, Paper Mario, 65% to 45%. I've put him down a little bit. I feel like his chances are a little bit lessened, but at the same time, if he does get in, I do have faith that he will have moveset potential from his original games, which will be really cool because Sakurai is going for fan service. Now, you guys may have noticed there's a character that I didn't mention because I saved him for last. Of course, Isaac, my boy. I gave him 40% as a chance score, and I am so happy to say that I can raise his chance score to a 60%. I think that Isaac had the most to benefit from this direct in terms of potential playability. His assist trophy was not returned or shown off. On top of that, Ashley gets deconfirmed, Shovel Knight gets deconfirmed, King K. Rool, Dark Samus, Chrom, Simon, Ridley, all of them have been confirmed. most of his major hurdles are kind of out of the way in terms of potential newcomers. I think Gino is probably more likely than him at this point, but I think that if Sakurai is really throwing away relevancy and is looking back through his library at characters that have had so much requests ever since their first ever requests like Isaac and Brawl, I really do think Isaac is up there. I really, really, really do. I think he will get something in this game. Whether it's playability, assist trophy, a normal trophy, whatever, he is going to get something. I am sure of that. And I don't think that is a bold claim to make. I think it's a pretty safe claim. On top of that, this doesn't necessarily mean anything at all, but it is something that I think is really cool. Over on Smashboards, in the newcomer speculation thread, there are support threads for every character, and Isaac is currently the biggest support thread for a character that has not been confirmed or deconfirmed yet, which gives me a bit of hope. So that's sort of my opinion on that. I really think my golden boy has a chance, and I have a genuine gut feeling that he is going to be the next person revealed. And if he's not, well, I'm going to have egg on my face, but I really think Isaac will be the next person to be revealed, so. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this Re-Rate Their Chances video. That is all of my chances re-rated. If you want to see my re-rated chances down below in the description, I've got a spreadsheet that you can look at, and it's got a list of just all of my chances, all of my wants. I've got them listed in the order of their original ratings, as I think it's only fair to keep them in that order despite re-rates. Because re-rates is sort of like, you know, you're re-rating in hindsight, whereas my original ratings I think are more fun to kind of look at. I'm so happy that Dark Samus made it in, because they weren't my #1 rated character, even though my want score was 5%, but still, I think that's really cool. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to check out the previous videos if you haven't already, and I will see you again for the next episode of Rate Their Chances, where we'll be taking a look at some new characters, and things are going to get a bit tougher now. With some confirmations, I've got to be a lot harsher on a lot of the more out there characters, and I'm going to be having a lot of no's, so I'll see you guys then. Goodbye. Hey there guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please consider checking out my Patreon. You've got some of my Patreon supporters down below that help me out each month. If you're interested yourself, you can get little perks and rewards for joining up. Next video, I don't know when it will be up, but it will be up, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much for the support, and goodbye.